An elementary school student walked into a classroom full of graduate students. He questioned the professor's research in front of everyone. He said he came from Montana, and he accepted the challenge. The professor thought he was just joking. No one took him seriously. The class continued as usual. The professor thought he was showing off. He publicly rejected his idea. He said the design looked beautiful but was not scientific. The boy replied that he already sent his design to a science journal, and it had already been published. The whole class went silent. The professor lost his temper. He warned him to stop causing trouble. He said the boy was not on the same level. He even attacked the details of his work. He mocked him and told him to focus on basic life skills first. The boy was humiliated in front of the class. But at school he was always seen as a problem student. At home things were no better. His family was cold toward him as well. He had a twin brother. His brother had a completely different personality. His brother was outgoing and popular. He was good at horse riding and sports. His father preferred his brother. The family looked normal on the surface. Until one day in a barn experiment, he and his brother came into contact with a gun. An accident happened and it went off. His brother died because of it. After that everything in the family changed. His father became silent. His mother focused all her attention on insect research. His sister remained distant. No one in the family ever mentioned the brother again. It was as if he never existed. The boy realized he lost more than his brother. He lost a complete family. After that he threw himself into science research. He tried to prove himself to fill the emptiness. One day after school, his father waited for him at the station for the first time. It was the first time his father spoke to him after the brother's death, but he did not feel relief. He knew it was only temporary attention. On the way home, he remembered his brother's life on the ranch. He also remembered his father's approval of his brother. He became more desperate to be seen. To gain his father's approval, he built a three-dimensional water flow model. He hoped it could solve water shortage on the farm. He eagerly presented his work, but his father did not approve. He rejected the idea directly. He failed again. His efforts brought no response. Later he learned his design of a perpetual motion machine was invited for a science award, and he was invited to New York to receive the prize. He told his family the news, but received no positive reaction. At the dinner table, he realized he was never truly valued at home. At night, he decided to travel to New York alone. He planned his route, packed his luggage, and took tools and daily supplies. These items were both tools and proof of his loneliness. He dragged a large suitcase downstairs. He stopped when passing his brother's room. He turned on the light and stayed for a moment. Then he wrote a goodbye letter, and prepared to leave home. In the morning, he walked out of the house with his suitcase. His father's car drove by in the distance, but it did not stop. It passed right by him. He stood there, thinking he had been abandoned. The train was about to arrive. He started running. He reached the location, climbed onto a signal structure, and changed the signal light to red. The train stopped because of it. He forced his luggage onto the carriage. Just as he was about to board, a police officer appeared. He quickly ran and managed to get on the train. The train started moving. He officially began his journey. The train continued along the tracks. The scenery outside kept changing. Mountains and lakes passed before his eyes. He saw the geography from his textbooks for the first time. He excitedly observed everything in the carriage. The train arrived at a new station. Local police began searching passengers. He hid inside an RV with his luggage. He pretended to be a still display object. Police looked through the window. He stayed completely still. The police found nothing unusual. The train started again. He escaped inspection once more. The RV became his temporary hiding place. During the day he watched the world outside. At night he rested in the small space. The train kept moving forward, and he kept moving away from home. On the train he met an old man. The old man was also traveling by hitchhiking. He told a story about a sparrow in winter. The sparrow asked trees for help. The oak refused it. The poplar and willow also refused. Only the pine accepted it. The sparrow survived the winter. The old man wanted to teach kindness through the story, but the boy analyzed the logic instead. He said the story did not match reality. The old man did not argue further. He simply gave him money for food. He went to a street stand to buy a hot dog. At that moment police appeared again checking wanted lists. He changed his appearance and avoided being recognized. But the vendor still recognized him. The vendor simply reminded him to be careful. He denied having a family. Then he left. He passed a phone booth, and hesitated for a moment. He imagined calling home. He imagined his parents caring for him. He imagined being brought back home. But he never dialed. All the thoughts stayed in his mind. Reality remained silent. The night train kept moving. Lights flickered outside the window. He felt more and more lonely. He began reading his mother's diary. It recorded details of the family. He saw his mother's true thoughts for the first time, and began to understand her emotions. He slowly calmed down through reading. The train finally reached near New York. He prepared to get off with his luggage. He hid his luggage near the station. Right after leaving he was spotted by police. He started running. He moved through city streets. He jumped over a high gate, and managed to cross it. but he got injured when landing. His ribs hurt badly. He still kept moving forward. On the road he asked vehicles for help. Most did not stop, until a truck pulled over. The driver let him rest inside. The driver checked his injury, and believed he might have broken bones. He suggested going to the hospital, but the boy refused. He was afraid of being caught by police. The driver did not force him, and continued driving. At night the driver told his own story. He talked about helping strangers along the road. Photos of passengers were on the truck walls. Each photo recorded a meeting. He fell asleep in the truck. When he woke up he saw new photos. The destination building appeared outside. The Smithsonian Institution came into view. He finally arrived at the Science Institution. He entered the hall to receive the award. Inside the New York Science Hall, he was questioned as soon as he explained his purpose. The front desk did not believe a child could receive an award. The deputy director came to confirm after a call, still doubting his identity, until he accurately described the structure of the machine. Experts began examining his brain. He was taken to a lab for scans. Machines recorded his brain activity. The results showed extremely high activity, and strong parallel processing ability. Researchers became very interested in him. He was quickly treated as a genius child. Media and institutions began shaping his image. Interviews and filming followed one after another. He was arranged to attend a formal award dinner. Many scientists and media figures gathered. Everyone focused on the boy. During the banquet he realized something. People did not truly understand his research. They were only interested in his label. He observed the artificial expressions of adults, and identified fake emotions through details. The whole place felt unfamiliar to him. The award ceremony began. He walked onto the stage, facing the audience. He simply thanked everyone. Then he said his machine was not truly perpetual. It would eventually stop due to magnetic decay. He explained the real reason he came, not to receive an award, but to talk about his family situation. He spoke about his brother's death. He described the accident, and everything he had never said before. The hall became silent. Everyone listened carefully. The atmosphere shifted from celebration to heaviness. He continued speaking about his family changes, and years of emotional pressure. The audience began reacting emotionally. Some people started applauding him, but he stayed on stage. The deputy director rushed up to stop the situation, and held him to control the moment. But it was also to protect the institution's image. Media teams continued pushing the story, trying to expand the impact. The event became a public sensation. His mother arrived at the scene. He did not know she would come. This made everything more complicated. He was later taken to more promotional activities. Interviews and filming continued. He gradually lost his original purpose. He began to realize people cared more about his story than his invention. Some even asked for photos of his brother. For promotion purposes, he felt uncomfortable but could not refuse. He tried to contact home many times, but calls never truly connected. Communication became more difficult. During a live interview, the host directly mentioned his brother's death. The atmosphere changed again. He fell into silence. The program continued pushing the topic, trying to intensify the conflict. His mother was brought into the studio. The sudden reunion shocked everyone. The family issue was exposed publicly. His mother said the accident was just an accident. She denied any responsibility, and said everyone misunderstood. These words broke his emotions. He lost control for the first time publicly. He rushed toward his mother. She quickly comforted him, and took him away from the set, trying to stop the broadcast. The crew continued following, trying to keep filming. The situation became chaotic. The deputy director also intervened, trying to control everything, but it was already out of control. Finally his father appeared. The moment he saw his father he calmed slightly. His father did not blame him. He only cared about his condition, and confirmed he was safe. Then the family had a short talk. Past misunderstandings were brought up. The truth about the accident was clarified. His father explained he never saw him leave. Many misunderstandings were just mistakes, not intentional neglect. The family distance slowly eased. Emotions began to soften. Opposition faded away. The family returned to their hometown. Life returned to normal rhythm. But the relationship had changed. There was conversation at the dinner table again. Laughter returned to the home. Silence no longer dominated. They began to mention the brother's name, no longer avoiding the past. Family memories were reconnected. Later his mother gave birth to another child. A new member joined the family. Life moved forward. He designed a device for the newborn child, a cradle similar to a perpetual motion structure, symbolizing a new beginning. The machine moved slowly. Its sound echoed in the room, like a continuous rhythm. His journey was reviewed and recorded, from classroom to New York and back to family, forming a complete path. This journey seemed like an award trip, but it was actually a search for belonging, and a re-understanding of family relationships.